Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to part 14 of my vinyl record collection tour. It's been about a week since the last one, which ended on the Psycroptic box set, so there's more of my Psycroptic collection to go with from there. So we'll get right into it. Here we have Observant by Psycroptic. This is a black and gold splatter. Yep, limited to 100 copies, so I've got one of those. Being from my home state and stuff, I kind of went on a little bit of a I guess variant collecting spree with Psycroptics. I haven't got them all, but I've got quite a few. That's why I got the spider vinyl and the black in the box sets from there. But another copy of Observant. This one's just on clear vinyl. And moving right along from there, we have the Inherited Repression. This one's just black vinyl. There was a green variant as well, which was kind of difficult to get hold of without spending sort of a fortune, so I don't have that one yet, but I do have a black vinyl copy of it there. Then from here we have just the self-titled album. This is just on gold vinyl. The hype sticker must have maybe got damaged. There's a bit of a crease up here in the cover as well, so that must have been from transit. I can't remember exactly where I got it from. Then we have As the Kingdom Drowns. So this one is like, what does it say? Fluorescent orange with cream splatter. There's not much cream in amongst it, but it is very fluoro. I might actually just pull this one out so you can see how bright it actually is. So if I get the whole sleeve out, I think as you can see, there's not a great deal of cream in amongst it, but it is very fluorescent, which is a cool variant. So slide that back in there. Everything's going in just nicely. Then we have another copy of it. The variant on this one is orange with black splatter wax. It's a darker orange as well on this one. I won't worry about pulling that out. Then we have clear vinyl version of it. So that's number 3. I don't have any more than 3 copies of that. Then we have the Watcher of All EP. I've actually got 2 of these in the exact same variant. For some reason, I bought one of them at a Psycroptic gig down in Hobart when they played a few years back. I think I got some video footage on the channel from that gig there, and I looked at the vinyl. I thought, I don't have that one. I think, if I recall correctly, I think it might have came out in 3 different variants, or maybe it was 5, but I doubled up, so I have 2 copies in the same thing. And then we have Divine Council. This is like a blue green galaxy vinyl. That's the only copy I have of that one. Yeah, just money started getting a bit tighter around the time that I was getting some of these, so maybe down the track I'll buy them all, or maybe I'll sell off a couple of copies and I'll just keep one. I don't know. Now moving on from there, we have Queen, A Night at the Opera. This was when I worked in the music shop. This was gifted to me by one of our customers. We called him Herb. He was a bit of a stoner actually, and he'd come in pretty munted some days, and he was just like, there you go. And it was the same with Jazz as well. He also gave me a Led Zeppelin, I think it was Houses of the Holy. So there's Jazz. There's some great tracks amongst those ones. I'm more familiar with like the Greatest Hits album, and that's probably what I've listened to the most. Also have The Works. I'm not sure where I got this from. It may have been a record fair or just out and about my travels and stumbled across it at a very cheap price. But going on from there, now we're getting back to more metal sort of stuff. We have Racer X, Street Lethal, Paul Gilbert and Shredding Away. I need to get all of the Racer X stuff, but I've got a couple of them because I have the Live Extreme volume where Paul was joined by Bruce Boulay, and tons and tons of guitar solos and shred, and I think this is the only album that has not Scarified, Skit Scat Wah on it. I don't think it's on any of the other albums. Cool song. Now we're going to be completely left of field because this is not metal at all, but we have Smash and Grab by Racy. My sister had this album and I used to listen to it a bit growing up. There's just some great pop songs on here. Fun fact about this album is that Tony Basil in 1982 recorded a cover version of the song Kitty, which is on this album, but she renamed it to Mickey and probably made a lot more money from it than Racy ever did. Anyway, that's just a little fun fact for you all. Now we have Revenant's Prophecies of a Dying World. This is a repress from Cosmic Key Creations. I have the original CD, which I spent like $100. Actually, it was $95 or something to buy. And then like a month or so later, Cosmic Key Creations, if I can learn to speak, released this on vinyl. So I bought that pretty much straight away. Moving on from there, we have Rib Spreader, sort of a bolted to the cross. It's sort of old school death metal. I believe Dan Swano had something to do with that. Haven't listened to it enough, but every time I do, I've got the CD as well. Every time I do, I really enjoy it. Then from there we have Rose Tattoo, their greatest hits. Aussie hard rock band. This is on Dino Music, so it's just one of those very generic sort of things. Part of a collection that I bought off a mate many years ago. He was moving interstate and I was like, I can't take my records, or the wife won't let me take the records, so make me an offer. Actually, he offered them to me for like $150 and it was about 40 LPs, which I thought was an absolute steal. Running Wild, Port Royal, do we call this pirate metal? Were these guys the originals? I'm not too sure. Quite an enjoyable album just the same. Then we have Sacramentum, Finis, what's it called? Finis Malorum. This is it's one LP, but there's two covers in here, which I'm not sure why it shipped out like that, but I'm okay with that. Sacramentum, if I can say it properly. Great sort of black metal from Sweden, I believe. Kind of, they remind me of Dissection at times a bit. Anyway, keep moving, otherwise it'll be forever. Joe Satriani, Flying in a Boy Dream. I really need Surfing with the Alien, that's my favourite, but this one's a great album, even if you ignore the fact that Joe sings on a few songs. A couple of them are a bit comical, a couple of them are a bit tragic, but stick to guitar playing Joe. Alright, then we have Satyricon, Dark Medieval Times. This is a repress. Who did it? Napalm Records did that. I love the early Satyricon albums. They sort of lost me from Rebel Extravaganza. I didn't really like that, so we also have a repress there of the Shadow Throne. A little bit of glare from outside coming in. And finally, Nemesis Divina. This one's probably my favourite, followed by the Shadow Throne and Dark Medieval Times lastly. Next up after that we have Scorpions Worldwide Live. This was in the collection I bought off a mate, and to be honest, I haven't even listened to it. I like some Scorpion songs, but I'm not real familiar with their stuff. And there's also Savage Amusement. Again, I haven't listened to this one. I should bust these out and give them a spin and see what grabs me. Because sometimes, yeah, go back. There's just stuff I missed when I was growing up, and go back and listen to it, and it's awesome. Then we have Sentenced, Shadows of the Past. I really like these guys. I got into them around the time that Down came out. It was on, I think it was on a Century Media compilation video. But I've got most of their stuff on CD. I think I'm missing one or two. Might be the Funeral album is the only one I'm missing actually. More Sentenced, we have North From Here. And more Sentenced, Amok. This is where they're sort of starting to transition, I guess, from death metal into that sort of gothy kind of thing that they do. I thought I had more. I thought I might have had Down on vinyl. Obviously I don't. I need to save up. Good luck with that, and complete the collection. Then we have Sepultura, Beneath the Remains. This is a very early press. I don't know if it's the exact original pressing, but very early press from 1989. It's a great album. I bought that off a mate. He sort of gave me access to a few of his vinyls, and it's like, pick out what you want. I think I bought about $300 worth at the time, which was only, I don't know, was it 8 or 10? It was a small collection of his vinyl. He had a ton of stuff, which I should, and he ended up selling really cheap. But anyway, and I also got a Rise off him. That's, I think, in my opinion, these are the best two Sepultura albums they ever did. I liked Chaos AD, but Roots I can't listen to. Moving on from there, this doesn't have a cover, but this is Synergy, Beware the Heavens. That was a little super group that Jesper from In Flames put together with Alexi from Children of Bodom, Charlie D'Angelo from Arch Enemy was in it, Kimberly Gothage was on vocals. She did a bit with Therian and a bit, I think, with Dimmu Borgir and stuff as well, and I can't remember who the drummer is. I think it might have been the guy from Witchery, but I'm not 100% sure. Continuing on, Sinister, Cross the Sticks, classic old school Dutch death metal album. Just awesome and must have release there. Then we have Skid Row, self-titled album. This one again was from my mate's collection. Absolutely love that. Used to pump it all the time when we had it at work. Slade album. These guys were great. Probably one of the more covered bands out there, because they did Come On Feel the Noise and Mental Health, and I think Action was theirs as well. No, or was that Sweet? Not sure that Def Leppard did, but yeah, cool stuff. Now we're into Slayer, Show No Mercy, early pressing. What can I say about Slayer? Everyone should have some Slayer in their collection. Just great. We've got the Haunting the Chapel EP. Moving along, Hell Awaits. I won this in a raffle on Facebook, which was lucky because it was literally the only thing I ever won from the number of raffles that I went into. I don't know what happened to that page, probably got shut down. There are a couple of 7-inch singles that were with that as well. I don't remember what they were off the top of my head. Then we have Rain in Blood. Greatest, well, arguably the greatest thrash album ever. It's probably in my top 3. An original pressing of South of Heaven. This was in the collection that I got off my mate, because I have a repress of it as well. Probably 15 or so years ago, I picked up Rain in Blood, South of Heaven and Seasons in the Abyss while I was working in the music shop. We have a bootleg, live bootleg here, Back to the Hellfire. I don't remember what's on it. I used to listen to this quite a lot way back. Track listing is Kill Again, Chemical Warfare, You Spill the Blood, which is just Spill the Blood, Live Undead, Die by the Sword, and Raining Blood. It's not, from memory, it's not a bad live recording, even though it is a bootleg. So keep moving along. We have Seasons in the Abyss. Awesome album. And then Decade of Aggression. This would be my top 5 favourite live albums of all time. I think it's on like red vinyl as well. Doesn't have a hype sticker on the front. Might have got destroyed when I was transferring it into the black sleeve. Then we have Divine Intervention. I think this was probably the last of their really good albums. The Diabolis in Musica, and stuff just doesn't really do it for me the way I did back then. Beginning at the end, I guess, for Slayer. Some reason, I think this was cheap. I've got the Repentless Killology. What's it called? Yeah, the Repentless Killology live at the Forum. One corner of the cover got smashed. This was from Nuclear Blast. Everything in the order on this one corner just had a massive ding in it, which was a pain, but not much I can do about that. Anyway, this one's gone a little bit longer than I'd anticipated. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'll get to the next one maybe next week. I'll be away this weekend, so not that anyone cares, but anyway, yeah, I'll try and get the next one done this week. I think the next album in the stack is Sonata Arctica, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and have a great weekend, everyone. I'm over and out.